Okay.
Hi, it's Tim and Dolores, and we decided that Tim's going to do Dave, a lot of material there, and Dolores will take over for Judy. I'd like to maybe use themes as the way I go through. Those themes that resonate about Dave with me are the following. Of course, his love of food, which is the shopping, the actual cooking, and the eating of food. Now, you can't tell me that there's one of you that's listening to this today that hasn't run into Dave in Wegmans. It had to happen. Wherever you go in the world with Dave, his priority is, where's the grocery store? He can spend 3 to 4 hours squeezing the fruits and vegetables. And on that subject, a really good story. Very close to an international incident occurred in Italy when we were there. Dave was doing his normal thing, squeezing, and of course, picture this. Dave, tall, lanky, and right next to him, on him, is this little Italian lady, 4 foot high, 4 foot wide, with a mustache. And she is not happy. And Dave does not know what to do. But he keeps squeezing. Finally, he goes up to pay. She follows him right up there, follows him right out the door, make sure he's gone from her store. She did not like Dave squeezing her Italian fruits and vegetables. Dave likes to eat about 6 meals a day, okay? And he loves his bread. And when the big man handed out names, he certainly named Baker correct for Dave. And if you think it's just plain meat and potatoes that Dave likes to eat, then you should have been with him in Livona in Italy at a restaurant that we went there. And Dave ordered purple octopus blood soup. And it was purple. And Dave did eat it. And I don't know to this day whether it was just that he's very brave or that he just couldn't read the menu. I'm not sure which it is. Another theme that resonates with me about Dave is we call him the Vanishing Dave. In Florida, he disappears for hours. At least while exploring on the beach, he reports back to me, tells me about what to be on the lookout for. He's definitely a breast man. In Italy, he was supposed to go to a tour in Siena with the rest of us, but he chose to stay back. And some of us think it had something to do with the German people there that stayed at the pool that were swimming, swimming with not all their clothes on. And that was, not sure of that, but that was one thought from some people. When we arrived in Saint-Tropez, Dave disappeared, and of course he said that he thought he saw Brigitte Bardot walking her dog. And then there was the time in Cinque Terre when, of course, poor Ed and Tim had to hold down the beach and keep that scenery in mind. But again, where was Dave? Missing in action. If you follow him, which I have done a couple of times, you know why he takes so long when he takes these walks. He stops and talks to everybody. Doesn't matter whether you're in Naples, Florida, or Naples, Italy. Dave stops and talks to everyone he can. Another one of the things that you notice about Dave, and I call it the navigation excellent. One day, halfway through our trip, Brian, sitting in the front seat, and said to his dad, "Dad, you're not following Garmin." And Dave said, "What?" And he said, "Don't you see the road? The way the road turns and you follow that road?" That was new. Of course, this was halfway through our trip, and by that point, we had visited almost every town in France, mostly by mistake. One time, we stopped by a farmer to get directions. Of course, he gave explicit directions, but we didn't follow anything he said. We went the opposite way. Then there was a time that Dave, we were lost, pulled into somebody's farmer's house, drove around the circular driveway, chickens flying, dogs chasing us, but we managed to get back on the road and go on our way. There was several times where Dave would negotiate, and you know, we all know Dave is a good negotiator. He would negotiate for something like a better car, something like this. It always seemed to be involved with some pretty young French girl. Now, in Italy, we were both at the airport returning the car, couldn't find a ride back. At one point, Dave considered sharing a ride with this beautiful Italian babe. Of course, you know, Tim, I wouldn't get in, so we couldn't do that. Some of Dave's favorite things. In Hawaii, Dave could spot a whale a mile away. That is, if you could get him away from Masada Donuts. He loved the outdoor shower in St. John. His favorite art, of course, what else? Statue of David. Favorite fine restaurants, Skinny Legs, Donkey Donuts, and then, of course, all the nice restaurants in France. Of course, his favorite, French fries at the Nice Radisson. Judy may tell you that Dave has no class. He doesn't love art or plays. Not true again. Like his name, Baker, the big man named David, and the sculpture says it all. It's scary, but I think some of these things, I have the same quirks. Happy birthday, happy anniversary to both of you. Sorry we can't be there in person, but maybe it's better this way. You know, Dave's idea of fine dining. Have a ball at Minahan's. Oh yeah, one last thing. Someone asked me to talk about when was the first time that Dave's path crossed with us. Well, the first time it crossed with me was in Dansville. I was from Dansville, Dave was from Livonia. We graduated the same year, so there was, you know, a lot of rivalry there. And I happen to be, Dave doesn't even know this, I don't think. I think he knows this is true, what happened, but doesn't know I was there. I spent a lot of time at my friend Paul's house in Dansville, right across the street from me. And I was there the day that Dave came to pick up Paul's younger little sister, Sally, which we fondly called Buck. And he picked her up to take her on a date. Well, it was not a good scene. I mean, a kid from Livonia, tall, lanky, geeky Dave shows up. We didn't think that was too cool. But anyways, as all things turned out for the better, Dave never came back to Dansville. And he eventually found another younger girl called Judy. And at that, I'll turn it over to my wife to talk about Judy.